Alright, hey everyone, here with another game of Starcraft 2 beta. This time it's a 1v1 that I did an arranged game with one of my friends here. That's why we get the cool colors, yellow and purple. And this time it'll be Terran versus Protoss, which is probably one of my weaker matchups, I'd say. The reason I have problems with it lately, it seems, just because, I don't know, it's just like I never know what they're gonna do, I guess, even if I do scout. I mean, you scout early, but a lot of the times you either get overrun by the 4 gateway push, or you have to watch out for the void ray cheese at the start. So you have to mix in a lot more marines than you'd like, and I don't know. It all goes to hell at some point. But here, what I was mentioning is because I told my buddy here that I was having troubles with Terran versus Protoss. He's like, here, I'll show you what to do. Just play as Protoss and I'll play as Terran. I was like, okay, sure. So I'm not really the best Protoss, but I was just messing around, and I sent in 2 Zealots early, and I killed pretty much all of his workers with the 2 Zealots, and a bunch of his Marines and a Marauder, and I just kept like streaming in a couple Zealots, and he ended up losing pretty much. He didn't actually lose, but at that point I was so far that he's just like, yeah, GG. Somehow my 2 Zealots at the start pretty much won me the game. So just kind of joking around about that there. But I can't remember what I do this game exactly. Pretty standard opening, just because we're both trying to play standard here. Just kind of see what the general strategies might be against 2 standard play. Of course, you'd have to switch it up if they're proxy gatewaying you or cannon rush. I see people do cannon rush occasionally, but it's really not that effective, to be honest. And it's okay, I guess, if when you have them contained by the cannons, you can make a good tech switch to void rays, because at that point, obviously, as a Terran, I would be thinking, okay, well, I want to get siege tanks. But if you had void rays, that would straight counter it. And you wouldn't really be mixing marines to get out of your base, right? Because you just want marauders and tanks because they're effective against cannons. But yeah, he's just scouting out my base here. Not really a big deal. It's kind of harassing me a little bit, which is always annoying. Pulled a few too many SCVs off the line there, but it's alright. Got my first marine out, so I should be able to kill him eventually. Just kind of running back into my base here. Taking my second gas, pretty standard. And getting a second Rax because you do want a pretty infantry heavy build, so. Just in case they do that 4 gateway push, you're gonna need a lot of army units to be able to defend it. And obviously if they go void rays, marines are a fairly strong counter to the void ray, so. And they were still joking about that 2 zealot push. Managed to defend it, so already improving. And again, just keep building up these tech units. So usually 3 racks is what I start with. Double tech lab and a reactor on the other one. Just because you do need the marines. The reason why I get marines is obviously if they have void rays, they'll be able to deal with that. But also they're really good against immortals. Just because of the way the immortal mechanic is, just if you focus fire marines on it, then that's definitely what you want to do, because you want to focus fire down those immortals, because they'll just rip through your marauders in only a few hits, just because the bonus damage against armor is so retardedly high. I have a feeling that that'll get nerfed at some point. Like they might get more base damage, but their bonus versus armored will go down. That's my guess anyways. And of course getting a Ghost Academy because the EMP on shields it's necessary. I don't know many good strategies where you can beat Protoss without EMP at all. Unless you're playing some bad, but any good Protoss player, you're gonna need that EMP.
Not enough minerals.
And of course you want the stim packs because stim and win. All you have to do is just stim, attack to ground, and win. That's not really true actually, as you're definitely gonna have to focus fire down immortals, for instance. Those are probably the top priority unit, in case anyone's wondering, at least in TvP. Is when you're trying to figure out what you should go for first, definitely try to aim your EMPs at the immortals and then focus fire them down, because they are quite expensive, and again they do so much damage to your marauders that if you can take those down, then you should be in pretty good shape. So I think I have 1 or 2 ghosts on the way here, which is good. And I'm kind of I'm thinking I might want to do an early push here, just to see, test his army out. I have a pretty decent amount of marauders and 2 ghosts for EMP, so should be able to do a pretty good amount of damage with this at the moment. And I suggest stay on 1 base for most of the game, because you want to end it fairly early. If you do end up having to go to a macro game, that's fine. Obviously you can transition into other units, like get Banshees, I would suggest. That's a strong later unit because they do so much damage to